You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene. Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Shark Tank After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Shark Tank After Show.
Oh, yeah. Hey, guys. We're here doing another recap of Shark Tank. We're actually going to do 2 recaps tonight. We got episode 23 and 24. We had the new Thursday night special. I wonder how the ratings went, but we're just going to go. We're going to go right through all 8 presentations.
We got a lot to get through.
We got a lot to do. It's me and Phil here.
You know what? And just real fast before we start, there's a lot of great articles out there about the sharks and things like that and how much they film an entire season in 9 days. And so a lot of the anger and resentment that comes from the sharks, you know, battling, which we see, you know, in 2 nights episode. So that's a pun. It's 2 nights episode.
I thought you said we had to go quick.
We are.
Okay.
I am. But it comes from the fact that when you think about it, you know, we're already on episode 24 and we still have a few more episodes to go. So when you cram that many episodes and products into 9 days of filming,
it's kind of awesome, but they're all busy, so it makes sense. But I do notice it because I probably wouldn't have noticed it if Lori and Barbara weren't there because they wear the same. You see the same dress a lot. Like you see Lori's royal blue dress a lot, you know, and it's like, oh, she's wearing the same dress. It's like, oh wait, no, they didn't leave, and you can tell. But yeah, it's pretty interesting, and I like when they get a little bit heated. So I like the banter. Like the banter thickens. You could tell it's like probably like day 7 now, you know. Yeah. Of them filming.
I would love the psychology of it. Like, hey, you know, Mark saying, hey, can I get a glass of water? No. It's better if you don't have a glass of water. That way you get ticked off easier.
I don't think that happens.
Anyway,
right, so we got the first product. We've got Scott and Josh come in with this dynamic product to help business attract customers. I don't know, man. The velocity signs. What do you think about them, Phil?
Okay, they had, obviously, all the sharks kind of made up. They looked weird. It didn't look appealing.
It didn't look appealing, but in the same sense, I don't think, and I could be wrong, like, I don't think it's always going to be a person. Like, if it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it could be some sort of shape, so maybe that, for me, that's neither here nor there. But, you know, I actually like, and I think all the sharks shared the, like, they feel bad for the guy that's flipping the signs on the street. He's hot, he's this, he's that. But I kind of like it. Like, I like that he throws it up. I like that it spins. Like, I agree.
Has it ever made you go in, though?
Never.
Okay, so there you go.
No.
However, I like Barbara's note about the real estate market because that's still a viable market that, again, the flip sign guys, I don't care for that. But the real estate, that makes sense.
The open house stuff, yeah. Or the for rent.
Yeah.
West Side Rentals, places like that could probably use it too, or whatever, wherever.
But it's just it was heavy.
Yeah, it was like 168 pounds or something like that, 165 pounds. So they're asking for $225,000 for 15% of the company. And the thing that was interesting to me too is they said that they in price range from $18.99 to $2,850. I mean, what do you get for $18.99? Like one to put on your desk? You know what I mean? Like, it was just, like, such a really big range for a product.
Yeah, well, they certainly didn't showcase it.
And I understand, but still, it's, you know, anyway, they had 125 they sold over the last 12 months. So they've made $257,000. Their cost, and they do a demonstration of their cost of one of, like, the Cuban, they said, like, one of the ones they had there was $1,000, and they'd probably sell that one. That's probably, like, a top-of-the-line $2,800 one. So it's kind of a good, you know what I mean? Like, it's a good margin. They say they have Little Caesars doing it, companies like that. And I agree with you. Like, I agree that the real estate thing's good. I've never went into a store because of the sign flipping.
Movie theaters might be good. Stadiums might be good.
You know, the only one that I really can be like, this is something that I distinctly remember is Liberty Tax. They always got Uncle Sam out there flipping signs. So maybe it would be something like that, like a cartoony or like a Santa one during like, or whatever. So then we have, this is a really interesting situation that happens here with the Sharks. We got Robert saying it's clever, but he doesn't really like, he's done the digital signage, he doesn't like it, he's out. Mr. Wonderful is like, what do you guys think you're gonna do? This isn't a huge business, I'm out. Mark's problem is people are only gonna buy, companies are gonna buy one, not two, he's out. Barbara's like, it's perfect for real estate, but it's too heavy, she's out. And then Lori's like, you guys are extremely smart. There's a way to do this for the brick and mortar shops. She's like, I'll give you a deal. $225,000 for 30% of the company. Then all of a sudden it starts. Kevin's like, I'll come in on that if you'll have me, Lori. And Mark's like, I'll come in on that too. So it goes from the three of them it goes from everyone out, which is so funny because the fear of loss really happens sometimes on this show. You know what I mean? It's like, and again, at the end of the day, do you want just investors or do you want people that said no at the beginning? You know what I mean? Like, it was kind of like a back and forth for me. So
but it's not like they're just going in just to go in. They seem genuinely excited after Lori presented all the possibilities. Right.
No, they totally, and I think they're smart enough not to just throw money at people and not give a shit. You know what I mean? But then the guy, it turned into like a guys versus girls. So then Lori and Barbara are like, we'll do 225 for 25%. And the guys team, they're like, we'll do 225 for 30%. And Lori and Barbara kind of almost got offended. They were like, seriously, like you're doing this right now? Which is, I mean, I kind of would have felt the same way if I was Lori. I would have been like, so I'm the one that believed in you and brought to the table what could be possible, and you're gonna go with the other Sharks now. Like, I'd be kind of pissed, I think.
Well, that's exactly what they did.
Exactly. And I think that, but in the same sense, it was good. As much as it sucked for the women in this one, it was good. It was for Mr. Wonderful to be like, okay, I'm gonna come back in. Something really had to click for him because he normally wouldn't do that.
No.
So something I think really had to click for them. And Scott and Josh wind up, going. And again, for them, they made a good business decision. Like, 3 Sharks are better than 2. So, I mean, I understand why they took that. But I don't know. I don't know that this is a business that I really care that much about.
I mean, hey, again, it has a lot of promise if done right.
Right.
So, we could definitely license this product.
Yeah. I'm sure they will. I'm sure we're going to be able to start popping up everywhere. Okay, so that's anything else to add about the velocity signs, Phil?
I mean, hopefully people have jobs. But I mean, how many people does this sign flipping thing employ in the country? Because some people like it. They have their headphones on. They're listening to their music.
You know what's funny? And I could totally be wrong on this statement that I'm going to have, but I feel like Jeff Holm from The Bachelor, that guy, The Bachelorette, whatever, I feel like he's one of the inventors of the sign flippers, or he does something with the sign flippers. So that was a business he started, so I kept thinking, like, poor Jeff. But there are a lot of people out there, and it's starting to catch on. Like, I see it in other parts of the country as well. It's not just like a LA thing because the weather's warm here, but they had a good answer for that. They had a good answer that you invest in this once, after 6 months, you'll get your money back for the amount of business that it will bring in. You could be hiring those people and actually using them to do something rather than to just be outside flipping a sign. So they had an answer for that I kind of liked.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, moving to the next one. We had Singif, I think that was his name, comes out with the reimagined favorite snack, the Lord Nut Levington.
What the hell was this?
He's a
smart guy. He just didn't care.
See, but I liked him. He was a smart guy. I liked the packaging. I liked the slogan, pardon my flavor. I've never seen a seasoned peanut before, so the whole shtick. I kind of liked. He was asking for $500,000 for 30% of his company. Didn't seem too crazy of a valuation, but it was, again, it's where is this going to go? And he was smart in the sense that he had a product, and he did have answers. He knew that now, more and more now, as an entrepreneur with an idea and getting people behind him to roll out the product. Like, that's kind of what he was saying. And he also said that he came from working for Stacy's Pita Chips. So he's got back. Stacy's pita chips is huge. I was actually eating Stacy's pita chips while I was watching this show, and I was like, So, like, clearly that worked.
You thought of him?
Yeah, well, I'm saying, like, clearly that worked, and if he was part of that, you know.
Yeah, but it's, you know, how many people take credit for successes versus, I'm not saying he's doing it, versus how many people take credit for failures. You get what I'm saying?
No, I do, but... So he probably could have had 10 other things that failed, and the one thing that
No, I'm saying that, okay, you know, the chips that you're talking about, you know, it may not actually been him, but obviously, what I'm saying is,
I think he was like one of the finance guys. That's what he was saying.
But again, I've met so many people that are responsible for this person's success or the success of this brand that, again, I'm not saying he's lying.
We got a little bit of jaded Phil coming out here.
I just like to check it out.
No, I get what you're saying. A lot of people, you know, say things that they don't really do. I totally understand that.
Like Stef Z, all of a sudden now famous. Yep, I made her famous. That was me. I knew Stef Z back then, and you know, I told her exactly what to do. And every week we co-hosted, you know, the Shark Tank after show, and you know, she gained her genius from me, and now she's successful because of me.
And then I would be like, all right, everybody just go rewatch all the Shark Tank episodes and form your own opinion. No, I'm just kidding. So anyway, they're in 600 stores. They've already invested $1.1 million. And he didn't really answer that question of where it came from. Like, he just, I guess...
The investors.
Yeah, but there wasn't like he raised a round of money before, this, that, and anything. But he was, you know, he went to a good school. He was smart. Mark and Robert really liked him. They really liked his answers to some of Mr. Wonderful's questions, which, you know, I was really impressed with. Mr. Wonderful, you know, I can't follow you down this path to hell, he said, which is a little bit freaking dramatic, but he's out. Barbara has no love for the nuts, pretty much.
Well, she can't.
She just doesn't. And then Lori...
She just can't eat them.
No, that was Lori. Barbara said she has no love for them. Yeah. Lori can't eat them. I understand that. Like, you don't... Like, if you have a peanut allergy or this, that, or the other thing, and you can't eat them, like, why are you going to invest in a company?
Well, you could. The only problem is you can't... You'll never know if they taste good or not.
Right, right.
You know?
Robert didn't like the plan. You know, he didn't like something that made it... He didn't like the presentation, I don't think. This guy's presentation wasn't good. Let's be real.
No.
It wasn't like, oh my God, this is the best new product. We need to help this guy get it out here. Because there are some people that come on with a product and have no idea what they're doing, probably aren't as smart as this guy, and get deals. Because they're just more forward with, like, this is a product that I love. There was no love for the product, pretty much. That's like what Barbara was saying. Like, doesn't look like you love your nuts. I knew that would be
No, he doesn't love his nuts.
He doesn't love his nuts. And then Mark gave him, you know, an opportunity to answer a question about sales velocity and data and this and that. And, like, they started with giving data that this is what's going to happen. And then he went right to, God. Like, but people really like my nuts. The canned answer. Yeah. The canned answer.
No, because, okay, when you're on that groove of statistics and whatnot, that's your best bet. But then as soon as you get into, well, this is changing lives, I have, you know, various emails to prove it. Oh, do you? Because great. So 3 people wrote in that they like your nuts. No. Great. That's wonderful that it changed their lives, but that doesn't solve anything.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. It was very...
Then make it a hobby and sell it to them. On the weekends. Who cares? It's not a business.
But he's still making money. So maybe this will... You know what I mean? Maybe this will work and it'll be slow and steady. I don't know. Mr. Peanut is like the most branded peanut ever. You would think that someone like Mr. Peanut would see this and be like, oh, we should totally do flavored peanuts. I feel like something like this is hard because can you think of any other peanut than Mr. Peanut? Like, can you know what I mean? They have that space.
Peanut
nailed.
butter?
No. Mr. Peanut.
I know what you're saying. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't.
Phil's the one that made me.
I don't eat peanut. I eat almonds.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Anyway, moving on.
You wanted me to answer the question. I'm answering the question.
No, I did want you to answer the question. But I'm just saying that in that category of food, I feel like there's... Like, if you think of peanut butter, you think Skippy. Like,
Peter Pan.
Or Peter Pan. So you could, in that one, say one quick. When you say peanuts, there's not another...
Yeah, because it's the dude. It's Mr. Peanut.
Exactly.
The
so
dude.
they brand, and he's trying to brand a new dude, and he doesn't care about the dude. He just, you know what I mean? Like, it's not.
It's just a weird dude to brand. To me, Lord, what?
Lord Nut.
Like
Nuts a lot.
He just looks weird. Looks
Lord
frightening.
Levington. Yeah, he looked weird.
It looks like an emo thing to me.
Oh my God, I love you.
I'm sorry. What do you want me to say?
I don't know. All right, let's move on. Moving on. Next, we got Happy Feet. Oh my God, I want some.
Okay.
I want some so bad.
You understand why they were called Happy Feet? It's just okay. The movie Happy Feet. It's just you know what I mean. It's gonna get so many people just off the bat, just off that title of Happy Feet.
How do you know that they weren't out before the movie? Do you? Do we know? Can we look that up?
I mean, Go ahead. Convince me otherwise.
I'm just saying, there's no real way.
Okay, whatever. All right,
I feel like
Congrats
if there was a movie named Happy Feet, and then someone did a spinoff of a slipper named Happy Feet, and they didn't have it first, there'd be a lawsuit behind that. Like, I feel like that's in branding. You can't
really like, you can't necessarily. It depends on the title, but like, I don't know. Anyway, Happy Feet.
Okay, so we have Pat Gates. I liked him. I really liked him. I liked his presentation.
They all loved his Happy Feet.
I loved the shot of them all just kind of walking around, like, wearing their Happy Feet. I thought it was the cutest thing ever. They were all kind of just, like, squishing their feet along, you know? I really liked it. I really, really want the giraffe pair. I love giraffes. But he wanted $375,000 for 15%. And I thought it was really funny when they were giving him out, and he went to give Robert the penguins, and he's like, "What penguin?" He's like, "Give me the lion." So it was really cute. And this is a successful company already, and he's trying to expand overseas. But they've done $6.5 million in sales in the past 3 years. You know, in the last year, and I like how the Sharks always say, "Okay, you've done that past 3 years.
Yeah,
what's the last year?"
Yeah, it's
because if it's going down, then it's no good, and if it's going up, it's good. You know. Yeah. But in the last year they did $2.65 million, and the interesting thing to me is $2.2 million worth of these sales are online.
That's insane.
It's insane, and it's awesome because I wouldn't have thought for that reason. Like when they asked why, and they're like, it takes up a lot of shelf space. I would have just been like, oh, they decided to do that. They don't want to pay with the big box stores. They don't want to have the margins. They get more direct to consumer profit, you know, whatever. But I didn't get that I would have never thought of that, but it makes complete sense.
Yeah.
But
it's still, yeah, I mean, just again, if you're in a store, you obviously have direct visibility. This one, you have to consciously find it or be looking for something or type in something. You know what I'm saying?
Snooki was Snooki. And you know, it's true. People like Snooki, and getting some of these celebrities in stuff like this is somewhat better than store. You know what I mean? Like, and they were kind of saying how
they struck gold. If they got her that early, they struck gold.
Oh, they did.
They had.
That's what I'm saying.
No one even no one knew what the hell Snooki was gonna be when or the Jersey Shore kids.
Yeah.
Especially her. Like, she's the gold.
She's the gold because, and it's kind of awesome that she's turned gold because she was kind of the trash bag.
She was. And
she kind of, as soon as she got pregnant, she kind of turned it around. She's a smart businesswoman. She's got a bunch of different business. She's got a bunch of brands. Like, Snooki is her own brand nowadays. So, yeah, they definitely hit it gold. And, Snooki gets 12% of this as a royalty. Which is crazy.
That's a big percentage.
That's a big percentage of all sales. But anyway, Mr. Wonderful is like, there's nothing
proprietary.
Yes, here. Lori was, asked the online questions. Barbara feels that it's not going to get any bigger. That they're kind of at their big point, so she's kind of out. Robert doesn't see where he can add value, so he's kind of out. Which, again, gets interesting later. Mr. Wonderful, concocts his, here we go with the Mr. Wonderful deal. He concocts his $375,000. He wants a $3 royalty on every slipper sold until he gets his money back, and then 5% equity after he recoups the money, and $1.50
just to wet his beak.
Yeah, just to wet his beak. Yeah, I like when he said that. Which was interesting. Then Lori says she'd go in with Kevin. And Kevin was like, yeah, I don't really like 0.5, so we're going to move that up to 6%.
Well, because, yeah, it makes sense. The 3% made sense initially, but then, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally get it.
So you got two people now.
And then Mark was kind of like, Mark really liked him. Mark really respected him. He's like, you know, you're the real deal, and I really, you know, you got it going on, but I'm kind of out. Like, I'm just not into this product. And then, you know, Lori, you know, wanted that, and then he wanted to counter Lori and Mr. Wonderful because, you know, he was kind of straight up like, this deal is kind of too complicated for me. Like, I really don't want that. I'll give up a little bit more. And he says to Lori and Mr. Wonderful, how about $375 for 20%? And then Mr. Wonderful said, no, 30%. And he was like, you know, can you guys come down to $375,000 for 25%? And Robert chimes in, again, a shark that was out, comes back in, chimes in, and is like, I'll take that deal. And he right away was like, okay. And Lori and Mr. Wonderful was sitting there, they were like a little bit dumbfounded that he took the deal right away.
Well, especially because, you know, if Robert initially said, I can't add value to this, and that was his big selling point about him going out, what are you going to add to it then?
That was kind of, I was left feeling that, too.
It's one thing when you're like, okay, I don't know if this is the right product. I know I could do something with it, but, you know, it might require a lot of work, whatever. But when you can't add value to the product,
yeah,
doesn't make sense.
I mean, and he wasn't clear in the sense, I can't add value because I'm not going to get enough return. He was just like, I can't add value. I'm out. And then he was the one that made the deal, which, you know, again, comes back. Maybe he heard something, maybe something, you know. And it's cut together, and it seems like he was out and then came back in. But they present for a couple hours. So it could have been some other stuff that we didn't hear.
It's, on average, it can be as fast as, let's say, 12 minutes. To as long as 2 hours.
Right.
That's the length and breadth of it.
I wonder what the fastest one was.
12 minutes.
No, I mean, what product was the fastest one to get a deal? I would love to have statistics like that.
I don't know if 12 minutes was to get a deal.
Or not, but you know what I mean? Like, I wonder what the quickest deal made was. Like, the quickest presentation deal.
I just want the shark. I just want one product that just sucks so bad that he goes in there and the sharks just see it, and him or her opens his mouth, and the sharks go, no. But, no. And he just has to leave.
You're so positive, Phil.
Hey, come on. Why?
You're like, I just want someone to walk out on the show and be all prepared to give their presentation, and the sharks to cut them off before they even get a word out and say, no, your product sucks, roll out.
I mean,
that would make you happy.
There's enough bad products out there where we can make that happen.
Yeah, that is. All right, cool. Anything left about the Happy Feet?
Good for them. Yeah. Hopefully Robert can actually bring something to it.
I think he will. I think they all can bring something to every product. They've run businesses. They're smart. They have connections. I think sometimes they say stuff like that because they don't want it or this or that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's kind of like a little bit of a cop-out and not being mean.
I get what you're throwing down.
Yeah. All right, so now we're moving on to Hold Your Haunches.
Okay, I loved Mark's little remark about, you know what, we're going to start the tush push.
I'm kind of team tush push.
That's a much better product.
You know, I like these two women. I like the whole, you know, sassy Southern moms. I like people that
what is up with Kevin
product
about false advertisement? Anytime that women have like
screwed.
uppity boobs,
he got screwed like in college or something. He's like holding on to it. But I kind of agree with him though. In a way, I kind of agree with him.
I agree with him too. But it's better than, I guess, getting okay. The weird hair extensions. Remember that?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, might actually get those girls in here. But like, okay, that's just completely false. Whereas like, you just work with what you got and you give it a little shape.
I understand. And I'm not saying that I wouldn't wear one of these, and I'm not saying that I haven't worn something like this if I had to get into a dress or something like that. Because most women, if they have to get dressed up or something, there's a million. See, my thing was that I thought there was a million products out there, but apparently there's products that go under the garment. They're not built into the garment is the distinction that I got. But yeah, but I get if you're going to wear something like this every day, and I don't think this product is the false advertising thing. Mr. Wonderful kind of goes completely left with this and says the whole thing. But I can understand
you can't deny
that.
ass 1 versus ass 2 on that before and after photo.
deny what about it? That it's ass chew is definitely better.
More attractive.
Right, but it's just, I don't know, like, what would you do? What would you do if you were, like, you brought some girl home and she looked all good, and then, like, put on sweats and, like, was, what, this is gonna get real fishy. Maybe we should just
real fishy.
Maybe we should just move away from this topic.
I mean, hey.
I get his point. And I think for me, the reason why it rings so true to me is because one of my first jobs when I moved out to LA was photo retouching. So I was creating this thing.
That's a little bit different.
It is and it's not. Because you're creating this thing that's false that people want to aspire to be. It's still a false of you. You know what I mean? Like, I work
But you're physically moving stuff. Whereas a photo, like we did a thing on Black Hollywood Live's Fashion 401, which is, you guys should check it out if you guys are into fashion. We talked about a Photoshop photo. And ironically, we're talking about the woman in the photo. But I noticed, like, they completely changed everything about this photo. Like, it might as well just been a photo of this mic right here, for those of you watching, and changed it to, like, be Megan Fox. Because none of the background, none of the thing was anything to begin with the original.
Yeah, some of it's really terrible. And it's funny, recently, I don't know if you guys saw, but Lorde, the singer Lorde, she saw herself on the cover of a magazine or somewhere in a magazine, completely retouched, and she actually tweeted a picture of her actual performance and was like, you know what, like, I'm cool that I'm not perfect, like, we all have imperfect stuff about us. So I thought that was pretty cool. But I get the whole thing. It's false advertising. I think he takes it a step too far, but I understand what he's saying. That's where we'll leave that one. But yeah, Mark chimes in with every,
you know, to guy, just one last point. Okay?
All right.
I think if you're a guy and you're not smart enough, if you get fooled, it's gonna be the worst thing in the world.
Let's stop.
If you bag some fatty and because she's wearing this, but she looks like a 10, and then you come home to a 2, that's on you, bro. That's JV. That's what you say. That's JV.
You bag a 10 and you come home, she's a 2. That might be the best thing you've ever said. I love you. As you're snorting into the microphone. Anyway, moving on. Mark comes out and says, I think the funniest thing he's ever said, every tush needs a push. It's true. I mean, you tell me one, not that everyone's going to wear this, but no one's perfect. No one is perfect. So, again, I'm not going to go out and buy one of these, so don't get me wrong, but...
Okay, so let's talk about the male versus female aspect of this.
Well, it is. It's kind of like... And I kind of agree with Lori in this, that as soon as there's a woman product that comes out like this, a lot of the dudes go out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe, like, if they're... I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to word it. I mean, this one I don't see that big a problem with. I think they could have gone in just fine. If we're talking about tampons or other stuff, then yeah, I could see, like, okay, there's nothing I could bring. There's no validity I can bring to this. There's, you know, I don't have knowledge of the space.
See, I don't agree with that whole thing, because you don't have knowledge of the space, but if you're a smart entrepreneur that's successful, you know enough, like, you don't know everything, and you know enough to find out what you don't know. So if you thought it was a great product, or if it had lots of sales, or you liked the two people and they were doing something good, even though it was like tampon something, I mean, I can't believe that's where you went.
What do you want me to say? What
I get it.
product?
I get it. But you know what I mean? Like, I would invest in cups. I don't know, male cups. Sports. It's
Sports
completely
cups?
different. Anyway, let's just move on.
Okay.
But I get what you're... And then Mark kind of comes back and's like, Lori, you don't do any tech stuff. And she was like, yes, I do. You know what I mean? So he made it about, I don't know this product. I really just don't know this product. Anyway, then Laura and Barb are like, they kind of want to make a deal just to prove the dude's wrong.
Which isn't the best deal to make, but all right.
No, yeah. I was a little bit like shocked. So they offer $75,000 for 40% of the company. They'll get both sharks, and they also get a $100,000 cash credit line, which makes a lot of sense. They're going to need more than $75,000 to do this. I like that Lori and Barb kind of made them go away to talk about it. I thought that was interesting. And as soon as they said it, like, you could see these women's faces. They were just like, we got a deal. Like, they looked so excited, so genuine. I was really happy for them. They took the deal. And then, you know, Mark chimes in and says, Kevin and I are going to start our own line, Tush Push. And honestly, if they did start their own line, Tush Push, guaranteed it would work. Tush
Push is a better name.
Tush Push is better than Hold Your Haunches. I don't know what a haunch is. It's your butt? I mean, I would never associate...
Right, look up the official definition of haunches. Just hold it down. We'll hold our haunches while you find the answer.
Well, we'll move on, and then we'll come back to it. So anything else about the Hold Your Haunches, a.k.a. Tush Push?
Tush Push, much better name.
Tush Push, much better. All right, but they got a deal. Okay, now we're moving into... So those were the 4 for the Thursday night. We wonder if we'll see more Thursday night episodes. Now we're going to go into episode 24, which was on the Friday night. Did you get the definition? Okay, yeah, what is it?
It is the hip, buttock, and upper thigh in humans and animals.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah. Okay. In case you guys out there
Tush Push better.
Tush Push better. So the first guy to come out is Taylor Robinson for Taylor Robinson Music. It's an innovative service that connects students to teachers. And for me, like, the way that they said that, because, you know, they always give, like, the one line as they're working out. I was like, students to teachers, I didn't right away get the guitar. Because I was thinking schools. Or tutors right away, you know? He wanted $100,000 for 10% of his company. And, you know, I really like this guy, though. I like the way that he was like, more and more music's getting cut out of schools. And I'm a big, like, this whole category gets me on fire. Like, music and arts being cut left and right from schools gets me really worked up, because it's not fair. Not everybody learns that way. There's so many more artists making money. You know what I mean? Like, where we were 20 years ago in our education system to where we are now, the higher paying jobs, the creative, think out of the box things that actually make a lot of money. Like, I don't think our schools and the curriculums are scaled for that. I'll let it go. Moving on. I thought it was a really good idea. It's like an app.
Good idea. Execution is not quite there, which is what killed him, unfortunately. You know, you got to market test all this stuff out. You know, if you got to continue to develop it, you know what I mean?
You do, but in the same sense, it's like, where is that? Yeah, I mean, I wish that they would.
In a restaurant, you have a POS system.
Yeah.
He needed his own, like, he needed a POS system for this.
I wish that
the hub central.
I like all the different categories, but I wish that for Shark Tank, each company had to be kind of, you had to get through a certain amount of hoops in order to present on Shark Tank, because then we've heard this a lot. It's too soon, it's too soon, it's too soon. And the too soon for me isn't that interesting to watch. You're a bad salesperson, your product's good, your product sucks, this, that, or the other thing, you're dead to me. Like, that's really interesting for me to watch, but it's a really good idea. We wish you luck. You're not there yet. Not interesting to me to watch. I mean, do you feel that at all, or not really?
Well, it just depends on your definition of the screen. Because if I was listening to this guy, okay, so he's got the model, he's making some money, you know. And again, I don't know who's necessarily screening these people. It could just be some, like, PA assistant.
Right.
And it's like, okay, well, oh, you got a great business. Okay, yeah.
Right.
Sign you up
like,
next
I wonder
week.
what the criteria is. But anyway, real quick, so it's a mobile app. You can type in, like, your zip code or your location, and it will pop up the musicians in your area. You get a profile, you get a picture, you get a bunch of stuff about them.
It seems like a lot of overhead, because you got to screen these musicians.
It seems like a lot of overhead, but not really. If everything did get automated, like he was saying, no,
but you still got to screen these people. You still got to.
But it's a brilliant idea. So maybe he needs like $400,000 and he needs to give up like 25 or 30% of his company. But it's a brilliant idea. People want to learn how to play music. Kids. And you know, for my kid, I would want, or for me, even if I wanted to learn it, I would want to see this person. I would want to know where they play. You can hear their music. Like.
Okay, the bigger part was the fact that he wasn't necessarily open to some of the suggestions that the Sharks were. And that's what ultimately killed him. Because if he was like, okay, you know, here's where we're at, here's how much I need, I want to update some of this stuff, I'm also willing to take input from you guys.
His presentation sucked.
Okay, was it just me or the singers were not that good?
They hurt my ears. I'm just being honest. Dude.
I mean,
I'm like raw tonight, no sleep raw. Yeah, no, they hurt my ears. I didn't get it. It didn't add anything. And for me, it was like you're telling me this whole app is to teach me how to play music, and you strummed like the most generic chord on a guitar. Like, play your freaking guitar. Show me that you know how to play an instrument, so that I can be like, oh my god, this guy's a total player. Like, I want to go and find someone that can teach me so I can play like him. I didn't like that part. The singers I felt like were unnecessary, and I do. I feel like this same exact. See, maybe this is, you know, why they let companies come on that aren't so far. But I feel like this same exact pitch. I mean, the same exact ingredients to this pitch, pitched a completely different way. You know, if he came out and been like, this is what I'm doing, I'm stuck here, I'm stuck there, I need to cut costs, I need to figure out my database, I need to do this, that's why I need you guys, but this thing is growing, I got 4,000. Like, if he would have presented it in a different way, he would have got the money.
Yeah.
So, anything else on the Taylor Robinson music before we move on?
Keep on playing, brother.
Okay, I'm not going to lie. We move on to the Power Pot. We got David and Caleb. This kind of blew my mind.
Different kind of pot. You said it blew your mind. A different kind of pot we're talking about here.
Come on. It really genius. Portable power in a freaking pot. Add
It's just
water,
too
get
small.
power. But no, see, I don't agree, because people are camping and stuff like that. You could put that pot in your freaking backpack and you can go to the beach, put some water in it, charge your phone. Done. You're going to want to carry around like a big thing. The thing that got me, which was the fact that the
I don't
longer...
want to carry around a big pot, but I want the pot to be able to make stuff.
But it can't.
Huh?
Have you ever been camping? What
Yes.
size pot did you use?
Bro. Remember we talked earlier in tonight's episode, I called it JV?
Yeah.
So the flip side of that is all balls. I was all balls camper, bro. I wasn't JV. I wasn't JV.
Bro, you're all balls.
I'm a great camper.
Really?
No, because everyone goes out in their RVs and this. Yeah.
I want you to go get 2 sticks and make a fire right now.
All balls, bro.
Bro.
I ain't JV.
But this is the addition to, if you're going camping, you have your pots and pans and stuff. This is, you know, for me, I see this as like,
First off, I don't bring my phone. For me personally, I don't bring my phone. So, just
whatever. Too cool for school, Phil.
Just saying.
What I'm saying is, this product is brilliant. Brilliant. You put some water in a freaking pot and you get power. Endless possibilities. Agree or disagree? Agree or disagree?
It's great.
There you go. Bro.
But again, it depends on the temperature. The lesser the temperature difference, the lesser the power.
Right, which kind of, it makes sense, but you would think it didn't make sense to do it that way.
I mean, I get it.
I get it. Anyway, Mr. Wonderful, and they asked kind of pretty soon, and they're like, what do you need the money for? And they're like, they want to sell more door to door. They want to figure it out. No, they want
hire Mark Cuban to do it.
Right. No, they want more doors. They want to test in big box stores, and they want to expand their product line. They're only in 100 doors now. Mr. Wonderful says, I hate camping. Everywhere I sleep, I want a mint on my pillow. So he's out, which is hysterical. Damon said, I'm the opposite, so maybe you should go camping with Damon, Phil, because he's like, bro, I love camping.
Yeah, but then he made jokes about his RV and stuff like that.
Yeah, but he said the business is too small, and he's out. Lori says, I see you in a small phase, in like a small, like it's kind of like a phase, like people get it, people don't, I'm out. Robert's beautiful designed, form for camping, but he sees a way to, he doesn't really see a way to participate. Like, they've got it, what do they need? He's out. And then,
because the market won't, they've already counted for what the possible market is, he said.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's no way to grow that.
Yeah, so their valuation was pretty much not correct at all.
Well, it was just the highest that it would ever go.
Right. But again, you can't, value your company at the highest it'll ever go if that's not what you're doing. That's not like, who said that's okay? And then Mark kind of asked him, like, where do you see the company going in 3 years? And I felt like this part of it for me was like huge, and they kind of just brushed right over it. They were like giving them to third world countries to like power shit. Like they're like in Uganda, we're bringing lights. Like people want lights there. So to be able to do something like that with a product, that's revolutionary. You know what I mean? Like that's insane. So for me, I was very excited about that, and I can't believe they didn't really.
I mean, in some sense, then like I don't know how it works, but would he just start a nonprofit in that sense then?
Well, I know, probably, yeah.
Like that. I don't know. It
well,
feels
but
like
nonprofits are some of the most profitable companies out there. Let's get real.
Okay, I understand that. But
you know, you get sponsors. You get like someone like Coca-Cola or something like that to sponsor this, so that they can say they're doing these products and looking good, and they can get their product down wherever these places are as well. And they buy a bunch and get it. You know what I mean? Like it's the cycle of that. But to me, that was very. I really, really like that. If they would have came out and been like, we want to power the world, like we want to give you, because it is more and more companies are doing stuff to get internet to third world countries, to get power, to do stuff like that. People, like even in Haiti, people are going down there and they're actually starting businesses within the community so that they can then run their own businesses. Like they're trying to do stuff like that. So I really like that. And I felt like Mark was about to go out. He's like, I really like what you guys are doing. And like before he could say the but, they were just, and he's like, well, since you're smart, he was like, okay, Mark. Like they kind of chimed right back in, and they convinced him. And Mark, you know, was like, all right, I'll make you a deal. You guys are smart guys, whatever. I'll give you $250,000 for 20% of the company. And they countered. And like you were saying earlier, deals are kind of.
This is the great, because I just want to see more of these kind of like, hey, we'll get you a board, we'll get you a position on the board, we'll this and that, this and shit. So we're smart.
Yeah.
Because again, it's just, had they come back with a royalty deal, could have been a smart move, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sure, Mark probably wouldn't go for that. But at least it's, you know, it's different. This is completely different.
Yeah, they are. They're breaking the rules. A lot of the deals that are presented, you know, 2-3 years ago were just like, this is it, yes or no. You know, like they would play with, you know, counter with the percentages. But so they come back and they offer him $250,000 for 12%. They get 3% advisor options and a seat on the board. And Mark was just like, deal. And to me, that showed that these guys, they know business, they know startups, they know new stuff. And like I said, more and more nowadays, the corporate structure, I think, is changing. And I really like that. All right, anything else about the Power Pot?
Nope. Different kind of pot.
Then we come to Stan and Kevin with the Fun Time Express. I don't know, man.
This was the weirdest. Okay, we got the whole package at the start of this, and I was like, you know, they uprooted their life. You know, what's this going to be? It's their relationship has been tested.
Yeah. I mean, not to make it about this, but I think it was cool that there was like a gay couple business. It was the first time we've seen that on Shark Tank,
and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
And the guy was, you know, the real estate guy. He seemed like the smart guy. You know, very analytical, logical, scientific, pragmatic.
Yeah.
What? This is what you come up with?
I mean, I completely agree with you. When
like,
the train came out, I was like,
did you not have a childhood? Like, what is this coming from?
I don't know. I don't understand. I do not understand. I don't see I'm baffled. Because I was kind of with you. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cute. Like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, what are they going to come with? And I see the train come out. And I'm like, okay, what's going to be this train thing? Like, what's going on here? And then it's like, we're going to drive around a train. It's like they have a petting zoo inside the mall. Like, they're going to drive around a train. Like, I don't understand. Like, who's going to put their kid on the train? Who's going to ride around a freaking shopping mall in that thing?
This was...
And pay $3. Like, I could understand if it was like a shuttle within the mall to get people from this point to that point to this point to that point or whatever, and the mall buys it, and you want to get every single mall to have one, but like...
But, okay...
When's the last time you saw a freaking merry-go-round in a mall?
Okay.
Come on!
They said profit was going to be what? You know, less than 1,000 on a good weekend.
Yeah.
That is terrible. They have 8 of these?
They have 5 operational trains, and I think they have like 2 in the meetings.
This sounds like we're talking about kids.
I mean, I don't really get it, but hey, it works. They figured out that $3 a ride was a magic number for the ride. You know, they had.
I wouldn't pay $3.
You would?
Would not.
Oh, I wouldn't either. But, you know, Mark was like, this is tough to grow. This is more difficult to get your money back. I'm out. Mr. Wonderful was like, this is limited to the mall. It's small. It's a train. It's a small train. It's a small deal. It's a small return. It's too small, small. He's out. Robert says, it's a great thing for you guys, but it's too small for an investor, and he's out. And then Lori, which threw me, was like, I like what you're doing. It's a feel-good business. I get the feel-good business part. But again, I don't know, like, and maybe this is just me because I am not, like, I lollygag a lot, but I'm not a lollygagger when it comes to shopping. Like, if I need something, I go to the mall, I go get it, and I leave. Like, I'm not the person that spends, like, 4 hours in the freaking shopping mall. Who does that?
I don't see you riding a train.
We should go find one.
There's only 5.
Yeah, but she said, she's a feel-good business, and she's willing to put up half the money in order to, but she wants another shark. So, and she liked Mr. Wonderful, which is kind of funny, like how we said the banter. Earlier, they're like, pissed at each other. Then Lori and Barbara are making a deal to, like, not have her, so that they can be women power. And then she's like, I actually want Mr. Wonderful in this deal.
Because he's good.
Yeah, and, so she presents, $125,000 for 20% of the company. And, the guys pretty much said that off the top, they'll give them the profit to get their investment back. Which I feel like that was kind of setting themselves up to fail.
It was.
It was.
I don't know what oh my God. These, like, they might as well offer, like, we'll give you every dollar, we'll give you 100% of any profit here and then in the near future in universes existing and to be created. Yeah. Like, what?
And they get a deal, and I was definitely shocked that they got a deal. But this is one of the ones that I'm really curious to see what happens. Like, I'm curious to see how, because they're going to change this.
Go to your local mall.
They're going to change it. They're going to change it.
You might see more.
Okay, and now for our last product, we've got the Quick Stop Fire Sprinkler Tools from
This guy was amazing.
Super cool.
He's the business.
Yeah.
He's the guy you invest. Like, hey, I got a little mother effing inventor. You come out with 2 products a year, we're golden. Golden goose. Yeah, and we'll see. But like, I thought Lori was gonna give him an offer just because she thought he was cute. Because you could see her being like, little fireman. You could totally see her doing that. Damon pretty much is, so what he wants, he's asking $150,000 for 10% of the company. What it is, it's first thing, it's like it almost looked like pliers that fit perfectly around the sprinklers. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that if a fire goes off in a building that only one of the sprinklers goes off. Like, I didn't know that. So, we got educated a little bit, but it definitely worked. I liked the product. It was quick. It was easy. He had the pole. He had a bunch of different stuff. He had the other plumbing tool, I think, was unnecessary, a little bit off base of the other stuff. I think he could have been good with the 2. But Damien was like, I have no knowledge of this. I don't know how I can help him out. Lori was like, I'm going to make an offer, but there's a lot of risk, so I need another shark. Again, with another shark. So she says, I'll give you $75,000 for 18%, and then I want another shark that will also get 18%. And Robert doesn't see that it's, a self-evident consumer market because he doesn't know stuff about that. Which I totally understand what he's saying. Mr. Wonderful is like, I'll do the other half, but I want 25%. And, Mark had a really good point, though. He's like, why are you not charging more? There's other products out there, and they're a lot more money, and yours is easier and better. So why are you not charging more? So that was interesting. But he's, had the fireman answer, like, I just want to help people. I just want to make it happen. Yeah. Lori was like, yeah, I'll go in for 75 for 50%. 75 for 25, which would have got him the 150, but for 50%. And he's just, he's not willing to give up that much of his company. So he says no to the deal. And I give him credit for that. I give him credit for being I just want to know what he's dealing with it now.
Well, we'll look it up. So, that's it, guys. I know that we went quickly through the products, but we had 8 to get through. Real quick, we had the 2 flashbacks, the CordaRoys Beanbags, which was amazing. I love that beanbag thing. They're doing great. In the past 8 months, they've done $3 million worth of sales. And then we had a really, an amazing flashback to the very first product. The very first episode of Shark Tank. We had Ava the elephant. And
I remember that.
I remember that too. I remember it. And they've done.
You never forget your first.
Yeah, and they've done $6 million worth of sales with doctors and hospitals. There was an interesting stock swap that happened between Barbara and the woman at the health ponds or whatever it was. They got the Phoenix. It was like Michelle Obama was getting them the Phoenix Award. So that's kind of cool in itself. But like I said, that about wraps it up, guys. Again, sorry it was a little quick run through, but we had a lot to get through. So we hope you enjoyed it. You can catch me on Twitter and Instagram. I am Stef Z. Where can we find you, Phil?
AfterBuzz TV, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and watch Chasing Maria Menounos Tuesday nights on Oxygen at 10 p.m. Great episode about AfterBuzz TV, because guess what? It's right at that cusp, just like any business. Do you continue or do you call it quits? This Tuesday on Oxygen.
You just got a lot more energy. I wish you had that the whole time, man.
Well, I had energy the whole time. You just had more energy, so you kept talking. Blah, 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 blah. So you know what? I kept my mouth shut.
You made me, Phil. You make me.
All right, thank you guys for listening. We'll be back.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.